What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. The Body Beat down here, Michael, on the Saturday afternoon, exactly 2:43 p.m. Central Time. I just got to thinking last night and a little bit more this morning about our move into our new house that we're getting, and just kind of a lot of things over the past few years, and kind of thinking about this house and the time that we've been here in this location. We moved in this house in 2015, and we're leaving in October. So we've been here a little while now. So a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of things that happen. I'm just kind of reflecting on things, and you kind of do that sometimes. You reflect on things. So I got a little list here of some stuff wrote down that I just thought I'd go over, and really, what's the reason for this video? Well, maybe just to kind of be thankful for some of the things that have happened, and kind of to also think about some of the bad things, the not so great things that have happened, and some of the things to never forget, and some to learn, and some to grow on. So just kind of a little different video from my channel, but I think it kind of touches on health as far as just mental awareness, mental being, maybe we could say. So let's just call it that. I got the positive things wrote down first, but I think I'm going to do the not so positive things first, just to get them out of the way. Because I don't want to be too negative about things today. I want to end things on kind of a positive note. So let's try to do that. And these are just some things random that came to my mind. So the not so positive things over the last almost 10 years, since we've been in this house. My mom died March 2016. That sucked. She struggled for a lot of years. Her mom died. My wonderful, amazing grandma died in 2003. Plus, my mom lost her job of 30 years in a factory. They shut down and moved. Emerson Electric. That all happened within a month of one another. In 2000, I can't speak, in 2003. And she was never the same after that. It was rough, and she just went downhill really quick. Now, she lived a decent, long life, I guess. She was 72 when she died. So, anyway, it's just, it's kind of one of those things I reflect on, and I think back, and, number one, I wish I'd have been there more for my mom. Sometimes we kids have a tendency of not wanting to help out and do things maybe like we should, and if I could go back in time, it would be to be there for my mom 110%, because she was always there for us kids and all the grandkids and her mom and everybody. She was an amazing woman, and I wish I would have put more time and effort into her life and everything when her mom died. So and up until she died. So it's kind of a not so positive thing on a couple of notes there. My niece, she was 31 years old. She died in 2019, December. It might be 2020. I think 2019. I get mixed up. But she died on December 19th, I believe. So anyway, my niece, she died at 31 years old. Supposedly had a seizure or something in the tub taking a bath, and they found her dead. So she wasn't just a niece that was long distance, a niece that you seen once every 10 years. She was a niece we were around continuously. Special, amazing, wonderful, crazy, positive young lady, and she was from the time she was born until she died. She had Turner syndrome, which if you look it up, you can see there's different things that go on with people that are born with Turner syndrome. She struggled her whole life with different surgeries and different things, and what have you. But she was the most positive, amazing person you'd ever met, ever. So losing her in 2019 was a real big hit, and sorely missed. Wonderful, amazing person. My brother-in-law died last year, 2022. That was my niece's dad. So my sister lost a daughter and her husband all within that time frame. He found out he had cancer in early 2022, lived just a few months, and then ended up dying on September 11th, 2022. Amazing, wonderful, fun guy, always energetic and telling the dumbest jokes and the dumbest stories. He never could finish them, and he would just end up laughing and messing everything up and just couldn't tell a story for nothing. He wasn't just a brother-in-law, again, like my niece. He wasn't just a brother-in-law that I seen once a year or once every 10 years. It was all the time. I mean, I grew up with him. I've known him since the 80s. I was a little kid when I met him, when he got with my sister. Wonderful, wonderful person, just like his daughter. And so anyway, he is sorely missed. He was a really great guy. And so that's just another hit in our family. Another thing, my wife got epilepsy out of nowhere, and I've lost track of time. She got it probably 2017, 18. I done lost track of the years at this point, but she just got it out of nowhere. She was at work one day, and it hit her. So it's something to do with the part of her brain in the front. Maybe I can't remember where it's at, but just out of nowhere, she's got epilepsy. So it's been a very weird, surprising struggle that we weren't really prepared for. But we get through it. She goes to work. She still works all the time, and she's one of those that won't be really held down by much of anything. So, anyway, so just one more thing. Another thing, my oldest son, got diabetes over these past few years since we've been in this house. And that was another shock. My dad had diabetes. He died at 54 years old back in 1997. He didn't take care of himself, and unfortunately my oldest son doesn't either. Now, he's kind of had a turnaround, sort of, kind of. He tries to take care of himself. He still eats garbage, but he at least takes medicine and he's trying to do something. So, big shocker. When he first got it, it was just kind of pre-diabetes. He could have turned his life around, but he didn't. And so many people do not whenever they get diagnosed with diabetes. A lot of people they don't understand that you don't mess around with diabetes or cancer. You're done. If you mess around, you're done. So anyway, my son got that, and he's still dealing with that today. I never know if he's going to be dead or alive. I have no idea. And with me, I have some kind of strange liver problem that I've been diagnosed with. Supposedly it's not cancerous as of now. I haven't been to the doctor in a while because just the health care in our country is just goofy, and I get charged for stuff, but then I'm not charged, but I'm paying stuff I shouldn't have paid, and I'm still getting bills, but I shouldn't be getting bills. And it's an hour away where I gotta go, and it's just a bother, and I don't know. I need to go and pay attention, keep a checkup on it and all that, but I'll figure something out with a different doctor or something. So we're gonna change healthcare providers pretty soon. We're on Ambetter right now, and I think we're gonna go back to Blue Cross Blue Shield, I guess. Here pretty soon the signups start again. So anyway, I'm diagnosed with some little weird liver disease, so it could be nothing my entire life, or it could end up killing me. I have no idea. So it does cause dry patches on my fingers, and they crack open and constantly cracked open and really, very uncomfortable. If you've ever had dry, cracked skin on your fingers, you know what I'm talking about. But pretty uncomfortable. It's like it all the time. So that's a lot of the negative stuff. I guess I could also add in my father-in-law, since we've been here, has had stents put in and heart this and heart that and everything else. My mom, my mother-in-law, my wife's mom, has had cancer, double mastectomy, and been through radiation and chemo and all that kind of stuff, and all that's happened within this whole time frame we've been in this house. So, and they just live right next door. I mean, I could, even with my bad shoulder, I could throw a rock and hit their house. So anyway, there's been a lot of negative that's happened here over the past few years, and it really, such is life, and we're all on borrowed time. We don't know when we're gonna go. We don't know how long we're gonna be here. You just gotta kind of roll with it and do what you can. So let's end this little video on the positives, okay, guys? The positive things about this house, and I say it like that weirdly. I guess it's since we've been in this house. So, well, number one, my grandkids. I got 2 granddaughters. I'll go ahead and say it really don't matter to me, but my oldest granddaughter is technically not my blood granddaughter. She's her mom is actually the mom of my blood granddaughter, my youngest granddaughter, but the oldest granddaughter, she got pregnant. She's lived with us. The mother has lived with us since we moved back pretty much to Tennessee from Las Vegas, and we moved back here in 2014. So she's pretty much been with us the whole time. She got pregnant by my oldest granddaughter's dad, but she lived with us the whole time, and we all got close, and the granddaughter was born, and so she was my granddaughter. So she's known as my granddaughter, and I am the grandpa. And the differences between my blood granddaughter and my not blood granddaughter, there's none. There would be 0 differences in the way I feel about them. There's nothing else to say. I love that girl, and I've loved her, and she's loved me since the day she was born. The day I held her, her big old eyes just looking at me, and I just fell in love with her, and she's loved me since that day. And it was a time in my life when I really needed to feel some love, and she's been there ever since. And she's 7 years old now, and she's been there. She's been Grandpa's little booger butt ever since. And my other granddaughter, my oldest son, and her and the oldest granddaughter's mom were a couple for a little while, and they had a kid. And love her to death. She's a mixture of the mom and the dad, and like it just it's funny. But I love her. They're 2 totally different granddaughters, 2 totally different personalities, 2 totally different people completely. I love them immensely, and I hope that I can be that kind of grandpa that they remember after I'm dead and gone, that they can at least remember about, hey, he was a good grandpa. I remember running around the yard or doing this or doing these paintings that we've done, or I remember him working out and doing videos. I hope they can remember some of those things, and that's the best I can hope for. But I love them to death. Now I wrote down I started my YouTube channel. Technically, I started my YouTube channel back in like 2006, Mikeyson, which is now named Mikeyson TV. Technically, I started my YouTube journey then, but I only had a couple of little videos uploaded, and I didn't do that until later on. A couple workout videos and maybe a goofy video here or there of my kid or something. But I mean, literally, it was like nothing. My real YouTube journey started about 2016, into the middle, maybe later half. And we'll get into why that happened here in just a minute. But let's just talk about that for a second. But My YouTube journey really started about that time, and now we'll lead over into another thing. I started cycling, which is something I wanted to do for a million years. Not a million years, but close. I'm not quite a million years old, but I started cycling in 2016. And so at that point, I started doing videos. I started mostly going and uploading and doing stuff on Facebook, and maybe doing some live stuff on Facebook while I'm riding. However I did that, I don't even know. But I started doing uploads and kind of doing stuff for YouTube somewhere around in 2016 during my cycling journey. And it all kind of went from there on Mikey Sun TV. And Mikey Sun TV blew up to be, a conglomeration of all kind of different videos and categories and stuff, which you can go check out if you want. Mikey Sun TV, Mikieson TV, it's all one word. You're going to go in there and notice, though, that you're going to see all my body beatdown videos present, because I upload all these videos over to there. So, anyway, but you can go check out the playlist and find all kind of crazy cool stuff. So, kind of all this stuff kind of correlates or coincides or mixes together, whatever the word is we're looking for here. But my cycling took over, and I got a bicycle in 2016, February 11th, 2016, I started cycling. And then a few months later, I got another bicycle. So I had two different kind of bicycles that I could ride. And then I got another bicycle like a year later, off-road bike where I could do some trail riding and stuff. And I had 3 bikes, and everything was booming and crazy. And it was a great journey. And I've did a 100-mile ride in one day. That was a big thing. That's called a century, 100 miles. So I've done a 100-mile ride, and I've rode 20s and 30s and 50 miles a day, and I've rode 20 miles. I've rode a lot of riding in that 5.5 year period that I rode. So all this kind of coincides with the YouTube stuff. Now let's go ahead and just jump up to, I started working out again. So I started working out again in 2021. Also, I want to make sure that I remember to bring up the Body Beatdown channel. I had my Mikey Sun TV channel for years, and then I decided to break off into another channel to where I just focused on, all things health, kind of health related, kind of, things that kind of were closely, revolving around health and fitness and that. And so I made the Body Beatdown channel somewhere in probably about October-ish of 2021. And that's when I kind of left Mikey Sun TV behind. And that's why you see a lot of my beatdown videos over on Mikey Sun TV. So I'm kind of inserting this clip because I kind of forgot to bring up the Body Beatdown channel. So anyway, let's get on to the rest of the video. Early 2021. I woke up one day and I was like, I'm still hurting. My shoulder still hurts. I know I can't do anything great and crazy, but I think I'm going to go and I got to get some strength training in my life again because I miss it. I was going to get some quick adjustable dumbbells, the kind that you can like turn the handles and stuff and change the weights and just get some nice of those and a nice adjustable bench and leave it at that. But then the second that I thought about doing that, I woke up like the next day and I wasn't hurting at all. Like my arm was not hurting at all, and I was like, what has happened? Just a little story, a little history. I hurt both my shoulders doing bad bench pressings on 2 foreign benches, on a friend's bench and a friend's bench. So I hurt one shoulder one time and I hurt shoulder another time. So I kind of get through that in my life, and then we get to the winter time of like 2015, and I decide, hey, I'm going to play disc golf. It looks weird, but I'm going to go try it. So I liked it. Let's just say I liked it a lot. But the very first day I went to play, I'm sitting there throwing. The very first throw I do, there goes my shoulder, and I can feel it hurting already. But then I keep playing and I keep playing and I go back another day and I go another day and I go and I gotta throw. I can't just throw the disc like this or like this. I gotta throw the disc like I'm throwing it around the globe, around the earth. So I'm ripping my shoulder every time I throw that. I got to the point to where I would go to play just by myself and I'd go up to the basket and just flick my wrist because I couldn't even throw anymore. That's how crazy I am. I don't want to stop. So I had to stop because it was hurting so bad that it was like my arm was being ripped off of my body. So this leads up to the whole working out thing. Eventually, that subsided and went away. And that's whenever I contemplated really going big with working out. So like I said, it was still hurting whenever I was thinking of getting the dumbbells and the bench. But then I woke up like another day and it was like, what the heck? I'm not hurting. What's going on? So I said, I'm going big. I'm fixing to work out. So instead of just getting the adjustable dumbbells and the bench, I started shopping around and getting some other stuff and getting the bench I got that you see me use every day. And then I got the Smith machine, and then I was getting plates and more dumbbells and the rack and bars. Everything just kind of built up, and then I financed the Titan machine. I financed the other machine. I got this and that, and then I had everything you seen me have. So, and that's been going on since 2021. So I've experienced a lot of cool stuff, and then we add on top of that, I got drums. I'm finally playing drums after wanting to play drums probably since the age of 10. One of the very first earliest things that I can remember. Sorry, we got gnats or fruit flies all the time. One of the earliest things I can remember about being fascinated with drums is my brother has a friend. His name's Kenny, or Kenneth. He's gone now as well. He's died over the past couple years. Amazing guy. Anyway, he was a drummer. He played in a little band, and all that. I remember going to watch him rehearse and stuff at the guy's house and all this stuff. And I remember him playing, Bang Your Head, Quiet Rights, Bang Your Head, Mental Health or whatever. And I remember watching him do that, and it was like from that moment, I loved drums. And probably even before that, I probably was in love with Peter Criss from Kiss, because I grew up loving Kiss from before I was even 10 years old. So that kind of planted the seed in my head for drums. And then, after 40 years of beating on desks and steering wheels and beatboxing, all that stuff, and just constantly wanting to play drums, I finally got me some drums a couple months ago. So June 7th, actually, of 2023. June 7th is whenever I got my drums. And since then, I've gotten more cymbals and hi-hats and other stuff, and it's a very expensive hobby, passion, love. So anyway, I got my drums, and I'm going to keep building up the cymbal arsenal until I find what I want. I'm not good. I just beat on the drums and try to enjoy myself, and that's all I wanted from the day I got them. I wasn't trying to be good. I just wanted to enjoy, just wanted to play along to some music, and that's what I do. Also, since we've been here, I started walking. I cut out doing my cycling at one point because I was walking, cycling, and working out. And working out was taking an hour or so. My walks take a good 35 minutes, and going for bike rides was either an hour to like an hour and a half just for standard basic rides. So that's a lot of time, 5, 6, 7 days a week that you're putting in to that kind of stuff. So eventually I quit cycling and I went to spinning, which is why you see this bike right here. Where's my finger? Right there. Anyway, that's why you see that bike right there. So I got this a couple years ago, and I use it every day. I haven't missed. I do this 30 minutes a day, so that cuts it down. And plus, making sure, you got to pay attention to the weather and all that kind of stuff. And so this allows me to do that every day. So I'm spending 30 minutes every day. I walk 35 minutes every day, and then I work out. My workouts range, it can be an hour long or so, if not longer. It just depends. And here lately, it's been a little bit quicker because I'm trying to get through with stuff because, the move, we're doing all kind of stuff. So just kind of, pulling back a little bit from some of the working out, the length of my workouts. So anyway, I know we're going into a long video here. We got 24 minutes on the clock, but hey, what are we doing? So I don't know if I've missed anything, any of the important stuff, but I quit cycling after 5.5 years. I got this instantly. I was using my bicycle and a bike trainer, if you know what those are. It's where you lock the back wheel into the machine spinny thing. I was doing that, and then I said, I want to get a bike, exercise bike. So I found this, which I got for a really good deal for $75. These things usually go for hundreds of dollars, but I got a really good deal on that. So that's another positivity in my life. I started doing that again. I don't have that wrote down on here, but also I'm, not that I ever really quit, but I am playing more video games a little bit more. I'm enjoying myself. I got a new computer a couple years back in 2020 and play some video games on that, but I also have an Xbox Series S that my youngest son bought me for Christmas last year. Little Nat, I'm going to suck you down in my throat, and I don't even care. Anyway, so we got some good positive stuff, guys, going on in the house. We do have some negative stuff, but there's positives. There's always some positives to go along with things. So I got my walks, my spins, my working out, my drums, my YouTube journey, my grandkids, all this kind of cool stuff. And also we've had a lot of good family times here. We don't just have our normal, immediate family, wife, kids, grandkids, etc. But we have all my, my sisters and my brother-in-laws and my brother if he comes into town, and my wife's side of the family sometimes comes over, and we have family time, where we'll cook out, and we have the holidays here. We'll have 1 or 2 days a year that we really go all out and cook out and have a good time. We play cornhole, and we got music playing and all kind of good stuff. So we've had a lot of nice little family times here, and there's been a lot of good memories. There's bad memories and there's good memories, but you're gonna have that no matter where you're at. So that's just unfortunate that you got to have the bad with the good, unfortunately. But that's really all I've got wrote down here. But I guess another good thing I can say is, as of right this second, unless I fall over dead, I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. I'm still working out. We're on this new adventure with the new house that we bought. Not a good idea. It was an idea. You got to live with it. You either have this that you can do, or you have this that you can do, or that you can do, and you kind of pick what you're gonna do. And sometimes it's 100% good, sometimes it ain't. So anyway, it's just kind of another adventure we're going on. We're literally going to be moving less than 2 miles away from this house. It's just right down the road on a road that I do my bike ride on, that I was doing my bike ride on literally every day. It's just right down the road. So it's kind of funny. It's not a better house than this one. It's just a little bit more updated house than this one. It's not a bigger house than this one. It's not going to have all the room that I need. It don't even have a good place for me to park my bus, so I'm having to get that done. But it's an adventure we're going on, and it's just, it's more memories, good and bad, are going to be had there, and I hope that I live long enough to be a part of it. And so anyway, guys, just kind of a little journey that I wanted to kind of take you guys on. If you got any questions or any comments or anything, please just leave them in the comment section. I'm open. I'm an open book. I talk really about anything you want to talk about. So you can ask me any kind of questions. I'm good with anything. The same thing goes for you. If you have anything you want to talk about yourself from your own personal life and experience, leave it in the comments section. I like talking about stuff. I know a lot of people are real private about stuff. I'm not private about things. I'll talk about whatever. So not everybody's that way. But anyway, guys, I appreciate your time. I hope you have a good day, good weekend if you get it. And like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff to the Body Beatdown. That's me, Michael, your long-winded host at almost 30 minutes now. And don't forget, please, get up, get out, get rad, do it to it. And we'll see you next time on the Body Beatdown. See ya.
Get up, get out, get rad, and do it to it!